Bonjour, hi. Welcome back to another coffee talk. For those of you who are not familiar with coffee talks, it's a series I have on this channel where every Friday I sit down with a cup of coffee, I sip on it while I talk about different topics that have been on my mind for the past week, and this week is no exception. I wanted to take a quick moment to thank everyone that has been joining me lately. I think the previous coffee talk has been relevant to a lot of people. It seems that there are people that related, and what I said about the art of letting go resonated with some of you. So I'm very happy that it happened, and I'm happy if you decided to subscribe and join. So welcome. And yeah, let's get into today's coffee talk. Today's coffee talk, I think, is about to be very interesting. We are talking about dating, but more specifically, dating in your 20s. Yep, we're going there. As some of you may know, because I did a whole coffee talk about this, I am no longer on dating apps, but I used to be. I used to be an advocate for meeting people online. Is that even a thing, being an advocate for that? Who knows? But I used to be like a serial dater, and I used to meet people through dating apps. I've tried Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, and well, I'm still single, so obviously they did not work out. And there's a part of me who sometimes feel, I guess, pressured to put myself back onto those dating apps because it just seems that there is no other way for me to meet people. But then again, I just got so fed up with dating apps, and I got disappointed too many times, so I don't want to get back on them. But I will admit it is hard to date without dating apps. And I feel like dating in general can be hard nowadays. So dating without dating apps is definitely practically impossible. But yeah, and then dating in your 20s is a whole other thing. Yeah. All right, so I guess we're just gonna dive right in. I had a conversation with my sister about it recently, how it is kind of hard nowadays to, well, I will be speaking from personal experience, but I truly feel like this is going to resonate with a lot of people, because I've had friends who have been through similar situations, and we've just like talked about it. So yes, it's from personal experience, but it's also from what I've heard around me. But dating is just so rough because people are afraid of commitment. They are afraid to feel things. They are afraid to say things. And honestly, that's like what is happening with the dating scene right now, but I just feel like people in general are afraid to speak their mind, are afraid to like feel things and be human and cry and be happy and get the shivers and be passionate about things. And it just reflects itself even more into dating because, well, social media is not helping, but yeah. And I do count myself in this because I've been a victim of all of this, but I've also been like a participant into all of this. I have ghosted people in the past. I've been ghosted. I was afraid to commit to someone. People were afraid to commit to me. In all transparency, as sad as it may sound, I've kind of lost hope that I would find someone eventually who I could share my life with, because I feel like it's so hard nowadays to connect truly for multiple reasons. And people are just afraid to let themselves go and to fall in love. I feel like so many people, so many of us, I'm including myself in there, are like holding back and are afraid to like, I don't know, not only feel things, but actually be able to like put words into them and tell someone that they like them or tell them that they don't. Because it's so easy, because let's be real here, most of us communicate through a screen. Like we text, or we FaceTime, or we reply to each other's stories. And it's so easy to hide behind that and to just leave a message undelivered or unseen, or to not respond or ghost or like slowly fizzle out of a conversation. It's so easy. We've all done it. But why do we do that? Personally, it's because I am an avoidant. I try and avoid conflict pretty much, and I try and avoid having to justify myself. But I'm like stuck in this dilemma where when it happens to me, I kind of want to have some sort of explanation. But when I'm on the other side, I'm like, I don't owe any explanation to anyone. So it's, I'm playing my own game. Wow. And there's a big part of me that's frustrated with our generation for multiple reasons, but especially in the dating scene. Like we're all human. And it would be wrong to say that you wouldn't want to connect with someone. You wouldn't want to find your person. This is not true. People who say they don't want to be in a relationship is probably because they don't want to be in a relationship with you. And it just hurts to hear that, so people don't say it that way. They just say that they're not ready to be in a relationship, or it's not the right time, they're working on themselves. And this is valid, but all of those things are doable even when you're in a relationship. So, for example, someone has told me in the past that they were not ready to settle with someone because they had work to do on themselves, which, again, is understandable. But in my opinion, it's possible to do it while being in a relationship, and actually probably is going to make it easier because you would have someone by your side to grow and to experience those moments. And don't get me wrong, I do believe that in order to feel loved, you have to love yourself first. Otherwise, you're just going to seek other people's love and you won't be able to find it within yourself. But I think that so many of us hide behind that idea and use that as an excuse not to allow ourselves to just love others, or at least connect with them and share happy moments with them. And I think that's a bummer. Oh no, I spilled coffee on my white shirt. Shoot, okay. And it's funny because when I talk about dating with other people, because that's a subject that we kind of all relate to, we're all thinking the same. That's what's messed up about this. We're all thinking the same. We're all experiencing the same things, or really similar things. And yet, we're all stuck in this circle, running around, blinded, and afraid to say things the way that they are, and afraid to hurt people, or afraid of being hurt. And it's like, can we just, I don't know, can we just hug one another? Can we just kiss? Can we just enjoy each other's body? I don't, oh well. A lot of what I've been experiencing as a 25-year-old woman who's dating men is that I know what I want. Like, I have this goal of mine, and ultimately I want to find a partner who I can share my life with. But saying that sometimes scares people away. And I get why it would scare some people away, because if somebody came up to me and said, yeah, I want to find a mother for my children, I'd be a little spooked. Like, that's not spooked, but that's pretty straightforward. And that's okay, because I love people who are affirmative and know what they want. But what that does is it creates some sort of expectations for others, but also for yourself when it comes to dating. And where I'm getting to is precisely that. We have expectations. And especially with social media. And I'm circling back to this because I truly feel like it affects a lot of us when it comes to dating, and it affects the way that we see dating and the way that we see relationships, because we have all these happy couples to look at and to compare ourselves with, and they have like this perfect relationship, they're beautiful, but what we don't know is that they cheat on one another, or they're being violent, or they are abusive. And wow, that got deep. But what I mean is that what we see on social media isn't always a representation of what is, you know? And again, it creates this superficial, like, I don't know, I'm just torn between being hopeful and actually thinking that there might be someone out there who I can share my life with and have this happy relationship with and who I can work with in life. But there's also a part of me that's kind of given up because I've been disappointed in the past and because I've heard so many stories about unfaithful couples and about people staying in relationships just because they didn't know any better, and people being desperate to be with somebody, so they just end up in a relationship with somebody who like is abusive or disrespectful. So it's like, yeah, it's hard dating in this time of age, and there are so many things that affect the way that I see the dating world, and that I see like relationships and how they should be. So yeah, that's what's been on my mind lately. That probably did not make sense. I was pretty much all over the place, but that's also how I've been feeling about dating. And as always, I got lost in the sauce. So on that note, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. That's what we usually start with. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. I truly, truly, truly mean it. Hopefully, I have made a little difference in your day today. If you would like to make a difference in mine, you know what to do. And I am going to wish you in bonne journée.